meditative kind of improvisational process that's very rewarding.
Hi, my name is Ken. I go by Ken Frog, and I'm an artist, and yeah, I'm very nervous. Like what I enjoy, I really, since my childhood, I really enjoyed other cultures, and I was raised in a bilingual household, so we spoke Japanese and English. But I was really always into world cuisines, so recipes from all around the world. It was always interesting to me what people ate, what languages they spoke, and things like that. So yeah, I read a lot of books and a lot of illustrated books, and I think that was what kind of got me interested in art in a big way, yeah. So I was homeschooled. It's a little bit of an unusual thing, but I didn't go to public school. So a lot of I had some teachers when I was younger, but when I was older, I had to really kind of manage my own education. So I had to get creative with how I would teach myself to spell, for example. I used to use the cassette tape dictaphone and dictated my spelling list into there and had it read back to me so I can practice spelling. So I learned a lot about how to self-study, and I enjoyed it because it wasn't a set curriculum. I could kind of study the things that I was interested in and that I was good at. Yeah, but what kind of student was I? As a question, I think I was really curious, and I had a lot of capacity for new information. I think, yeah. So many though. I feel I really wanted to be an illustrator at one point. I wanted to have a restaurant. I wanted to own a bookstore. I think I wanted to have a cake store at one point. I don't remember exactly the stages, but I think I always wanted to have some kind of a shop where I would have regular people coming in. I would see creative things. Wanted to be a writer. Yeah.
So it means you have the same dreams as people, like when you were as kids, right now.
Yeah, I think so, actually. Mostly hasn't changed. I don't really want to do a cake shop anymore. I just think about how scary it would be if someone got poisoned or something. But yeah, other than that. From my 20s into my 30s, I was doing customer service management in different kinds of companies. Hotel management, airline, cryptocurrency, e-commerce, kind of a bit of everything. So I kind of did everything that has to do with customer service, which is, it's fine. But I decided before I turned 30, I was thinking I'd rather fail at something I'd rather fail at something I enjoy than to succeed at some things that I don't enjoy. So I was ready to have some failure. And I was just really quite unfulfilled and unhappy at work for a long time, and my family encouraged me to do something that would be more meaningful for me or more fun. So yeah, I thought I can go back. It doesn't have to be a life-changing decision. I don't have to say I'm an artist from now on and I'm never turning back. I just said, let's try it, soft, like not a hard decision, but kind of a とにかくやってみよう, let's try. So that was when I went in. I still do. I think, yeah, I still do. I mean, initially it was very exciting, but I did plan to have a drop in income. Obviously, it's not very stable. So I moved out of the city into a cheaper place, close to a post office, so I can send out my art around the world. But yeah, things actually went okay. I was able to get by with a few other odd jobs I was doing. And I started working for another company part-time. And I still work actually since then I've quit and I've joined another company, and I do some part-time freelance work with some other companies, and I do my art on the side. But initially when I quit, I was excited, but also kind of had some fuang or some uncertainty. Yeah. People have lots of different ideas about what is art and what is an artist's job. And I think it's an interesting question. It leads to a lot of interesting conversations and discussions, but ultimately the answers are kind of inconsequential. The discussion is more important is more interesting than the actual answers. I can only really speak for myself, but I think that for me, it's changed. Initially, my kind of metric of success was, am I creating art that is going to sustain me financially? But then I thought can't be a sustainable method of, measuring success. Lots of successful artists have not achieved that. I just have to plod along and do the work and enjoy my art. So initially it was creating art that was fun to create and beautiful to look at. I think that I have something special. And then also giving other people the permission to create art. I do a lot of art sessions and teach art as well. So giving people the permission to create art and to be fearless with that. That started to really change recently, actually, as of kind of late last year when violence broke out in the Middle East. There has been violence happening in Palestine for many, many years that I had been aware of. But more and more my art started to feel lacking or not as fun to create. So I think now my view has shifted to is my art relevant in the world I inhabit? Is my art still beautiful in the context of the world I inhabit right now? So I still don't have the answer to that, but I have been creating art more related to Palestine and related to people who are under oppression or violence in the world. And I have art sessions where I have people come together and we create art related to that and a space to talk about it. So that gives my art some meaning now. But it's a really big shift from the question. The original question is, what is the profession of an artist? That's different for everyone. For me right now, it's consistently creating beautiful pieces that are meaningful both to me in the creative process and to the people who see it. Sorry, it's a long answer. Like drinking a nice, well-made cocktail like a martini or a Manhattan or something. And I often go drinking in the Shinjuku Nichome gay district. But those places are often like the drinks are really strong and they come out in like a junky plastic cup, and it's the music is really loud, not a great place to just have a chill, relaxing conversation with friends. So it's kind of nice to, when I started making cocktails as a hobby, I wanted to provide a kind of atmosphere or environment for queer people to get together and just relax and have a good quality drink in a kind of more nice atmosphere. So I've enjoyed doing those bar events. I haven't done them as much recently, but I do plan to do one again soon. So I thought about this. I've thought about this a lot. For me, I think for me, I'm afraid that I'm not good enough. That being forced to create art will show you your own limitations, and people are afraid of their limitations. But unless you see your limitations, you're not going to improve. Unless you see kind of where your limits are, you're not going to be able to break through those and get further. So I think those people, they want the fun of being recognized for their talent, but they don't want the hard work of having to improve their talents. So one of the reasons is people feel afraid of I feel afraid of coming face to face with my limits. It is actually, it's a kikkake, or it's an opportunity to improve. The other reason I think is that some people do know that they are very, very good. Not me. I don't think I'm that skilled. I think I create beautiful art, but I think I'm more audacious, I'm bold, and I'm willing to start putting my art out there before I'm amazing at it. And I do pretty well now. But some people are amazing, and they know they're amazing, and they're just so disillusioned with the fact that the world will not recognize it. We're in a world where there's so much talent, but so little success. And I think this is part of kind of a capitalist world we live in. So I think to be a real artist, I don't think good art comes from fear. I think it comes from not being afraid of creating something that people will criticize. It says, let's just create something. Let's see how it goes. Whether it's bad or whether it's really good, let's just create it first, and let's see how it goes from there. Yeah. So really disjointed long answer, but basically two reasons. First, people are afraid of not being good enough. And second, people are afraid that they are really good, but people will not recognize them. Yeah, is my answer. Change, definitely. I think people relate to the concept of growth because we are all humans. We are all 生物, like we are living creatures. So we are children, we're baby, and then we became children, teenager, adult. So we have this kind of parallel of growth, as in biology, to compare things to. I look at art a little bit differently. I don't see myself as having grown as an artist. I see my art style as having changed. But sometimes I'm a little bit sad that I can't recreate some of my old art. I go back to my old art and I look at this, I'm like, I had this touch back then that I kind of have lost now. And when you gain something new, you often have to lose things. That's just life, I think. But I don't really see it as growth. If other people see it as growth, that's okay. But from my perspective, it's not growth, it's change. It's not a linear thing where you're getting to a more developed state necessarily. It's just change. And I think that will continue for a while. Hopefully, it'll continue. I hope. Yeah. Over 10 years from now, I really hope that I will have more time. No, I don't have to have more time because I already have limited time. I hope that I am better at using the limited time I have productively to create more art. I want to create a lot of art, much more than what I've been doing now. But where do I see myself in 5 or 10 years from now? I see myself doing more or less the same thing, teaching my art sessions, having my art exhibits, but hopefully more recognition. More people know about my work, more people know about my style, and I'm doing collaborations with other artists, and I just hope that I'm still having fun and that my art still has its same style, recognizable as mine. Yeah. It is actually really, I've been drawing since I was a kid, but doing art in the way I've been doing it now, it's been maybe 6 or 7 years. You came to actually my first ever exhibit, and I've had people who have been multiple times to my art sessions, who have bought my artwork throughout the years and who have encouraged me, not even me asking for encouragement, but people just telling me, hey, your art made me smile. And I think I would have stopped a long time ago without this encouragement. So thank you so much if you have been following my work, or if you've bought my work, or if you've, thank you. And これからもよろしくお願いします。
アートとは何、アーティストとは何っていう質問が先ほどあったかと思うんですけれど、自分もその答えが分かっているっていうわけではないんですけれど、よく思い出す名言がありまして、オスカー・ワイルドの小説でドリアン・グレイの肖像っていう作品があるんですけれど、その前書きにある言葉でAll art is quite useless というんですけれど、つまりアートっていうのは決して役に立つものではない、実用的なものではないというんですよ。でだからこそアートって美しいのかなっていう気がしまして、やっぱり人間って面白い生物だなとよく思うのが、やっぱアートってアートっていうのは実用的ではないのに、わざわざ時間をかけて愛情を込めてアートを作る、そこまでやっぱり価値を感じるっていう人間、好きな作品を買うまでやっぱり価値を感じる人間ってやっぱりすごいな、素敵だなといつも思います。やっぱりアートっていうのは人間の証拠なのかなと思います。